As soon as you strike one the iron spot, this guy's hot now. I mean, you've got a packed division. How do you deal with that?
I think he has so many fights he can fight. He can fight Deontay Wilder next, the WBC world title, unquestionably. He can rematch Dillian White again. He can fight Jarrell Miller. He can. I mean, there's so many fights for him now. But I do think there's something about the British fans that Dell was a very proud person. I think there were times in the fight where the crowd was like, "Oh, Dereck Chisora," and then like he was taking shots. Then you just see him go, pop, 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 pop. Like it was. I think in that kind of atmosphere, I think it really lifts him. I'd quite like to see him fight Wilder.
I was going to say Wilder because I'm going to second guess you. You know better than I do. I think that it's going to be Wembley in April, the rematch. Joshua against White, and maybe yourself against White.
But still, people have got to fight in the meantime. Like Dylan's going to want to fight in November. But the difference is, like we're sitting here tonight saying Wilder, White rematch, Miller. We could have been sitting here tonight saying, what do you want to do?
Dave Allen.
Nick Webb.
Nick Webb,
yeah.
You know.
But it's just, it probably ain't sank in from you. It's a massive night. And an epic night. I mean, that'll be remembered for a long time. Everyone who comes tonight will never forget that. Never forget it. That's the great thing about the sport. It's a great sport in the world. How can it not be when you get fights like that? I mean, it's everything.
What about Parker? Would you consider fighting? Yeah, I consider fighting Parker, but you know what? I think Parker's got a lot of things he needs to work on because, he's a fighter, but when he chucks his jab, he hands it down. He was not motivated for this fight, I don't think so. I think when he made money from the AJ fight, he kind of forgot about boxing basically. That's the same guy I saw in it because the things he done in the AJ fight he was not doing in it. So he looked in great shape, but he didn't have it. So I think Parker is going to fight again. I see that. Parker going to fight again. You think I'm talking crap, don't you?
No.
Yeah. He's a great man. He's a good man, but I don't think he'll be fighting. He don't want to train anymore. He hasn't got that hunger. I saw that.
Of all those heavyweights you mentioned there, Eddie, how many of those fights do you think will be here? I guess it would make sense, obviously, for the British fighters to be fighting each other. But would there be the?
I mean, if Wilder said I'll fight Chisora but only in Brooklyn,
yeah,
I think he'd ask for that. That's what I've dealt many times. I mean, we put it on the zone, we put it on Sky Sports Box. The money would be there for everybody.
As if I get a visa.
We'll get there. Something out.
I'll start rolling down on a boat, yeah. So.
But I just see big fights for Del now in London as well. I mean, the Dillian White fight was a very close fight with Del. I mean, I know everyone's got a view. It could have gone either way, and that fight could have turned everything if he won that fight. But tonight was a much bigger win, I feel, than what that fight would have been at the time, because of the way tonight unfolded. It was just incredible.
And given Takam's performance, you say.
Yeah, but Takam's a very good fighter. Fucking tough. I mean, he would have walked through like 90% of the top 15 in the world tonight. He was motivated. He had like a 10-week training camp. Yeah. He knew that if he could beat Chisora, he could talk about other big fights. I mean, I saw him went up to Del at the end of the fight. He was in tears. And he just went, "How did you do that? I can't believe it." I mean, they were so, in the round that you stopped him and the round before, you look like you're in trouble. You starting to take a lot of shots, and I was thinking, I don't know, Don might even pull him out here. He's starting to get heavy duty, and then bang, out of nowhere. And Takam was like, that doesn't happen to Takam. I mean, it happened to him against Povetkin, but it hasn't happened to him in any other fights. I mean, the Parker fight, AJ fight, he went down, but he was out tonight, out. Incredible.
Del, would you reckon the chances are of you getting a cut of 20 grand you've got coming from Higgins? You settle that up?
You've got to get paid first.
Yeah.
You think I get 5% or 2%?
I'll buy you a bed.
Yeah, buy me a bed.
Talking of Wilder, your wife saying if you did fight him to come over here to boost his profile in England as well. So you got obviously.
Yeah, but he's lost the plot. He don't know what he's doing. He's got a team of people around him that can't pay him any money. We're offering him a load of money. And he thinks I'm an armful, so he don't really want to deal with me. But when he realises I'm paying him 3 or 4 times more than everybody else. But now you can offer him, he's put it on a plate. You've got Dillian White, you've got Dereck Chisora. You might look at Del Boy and go, oh, that's Del Boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine Wilder against Chisora at the O2. Oh, mate.
Or Brooklyn. You know, get these
Eddie, do you agree with Derek's assertion that Joseph is now out of this
I
conversation?
think that Dereck knows fighters' mentality probably better than anyone. And I think with the money that Joseph Parker made against Joshua and the money that he made tonight, he could live a wonderful life. And it's going to take some real hunger to want it again, coming back for small persons.
Depends on the taxman get in first, he might come back early.
Do you think that's the only reason Parker's been fighting?
What, for money?
Just for money?
No, I think he's a fighter. But the problem is, when you make that type of money, as Marvin Hagler said, it's very difficult to get out and do your hill sprints when you're wearing silk pyjamas. Right?
I do hill sprints wearing silk pyjamas.
Yeah. But you're man. So he's got, I don't know, double-figure millions, right? So how much do you want it? That's all it comes down to. How much do you want it? If you want it in your life, you go again. Now he'll say, I'll be back, I'll do this, I'll do this. When you go back to New Zealand, you count your money and you go, do I want to build back? I mean, it was a risky, I admire it. The thing is, the 12th round kind of saved him. Because although he could have, another 30 seconds he could have had White, he kind of left the fight on a high. Do you know what I mean? He lost the fight, but people will be saying, we'll have Parker back, but will you want to drop down to money? No. So that's all about hunger, and I don't know him well enough to comment. There'd be many fighters that would never fight again.
You'll miss Higgins.
Higgins is great. Higgins is great. Parker's great. Kevin Barry's great. They're a lovely team of people. And if he never fought again, it wouldn't mean he was a bad person. If he never fought again, it just mean that he's made his money and maybe the desire's not there.
Higgins is walking around talking about a rematch. Is that something you're concerned?
Well, he's still talking about a rematch of the AJ fight as well. But it was a great fight. I mean,
It's a long flight back home.
but I think I wouldn't rule out a White rematch, but it's not at the top of the list. But I would definitely like to work with Parker again in fights here or in the States. Jarrell Miller fight is a great fight for him as well. But again, is he going to want to fight again for that type of money? Coming off 2 losses, maybe he comes back and gets a win first. I don't know, but we'll see. Right.
Done?
Any more questions? Thanks, guys. Thank you very much.
Well, I know.